Greetings, welcome back to the channel. I'm Tim. I'm here at my repair shop, Donor Auto in Anchorage, Alaska, and I got a quick tip on these GM variable power steering systems. And this one's actually going to be subject vehicle. Here's an 01 GMC Yukon XL, and this tip will apply to all General Motors, Chevy or GMC vehicles equipped with that variable power steering, where there's a solenoid valve on the back of the pump that changes the power assist during certain driving conditions. These systems are super problematic, and actually this is one I just put a brand new OE pump on that didn't turn out so well. Still got some issues with the power assist. I should have done things a little differently, making this video to help save you from making the same mistake I did and maybe save you a few bucks. You're watching the Car Doctor channel. Alright, so yeah, I put an OE pump on it. I really don't like doing aftermarket pumps on these. They just don't always get the valving right. And in this case, I even replaced the pressure hose. So what I could have done is completely eliminated the variable power steering assist system by just simply removing the old pump, installing the new one, and replacing the hose with the hose designed for the non-variable assist units. That would have just connected the back of the pump without the solenoid valve in there, and would have been great, and it would have been down the road, and I wouldn't be doing this again for free. But in this case, it's a great customer, and we always stand behind our work, so this is going to be a gratis repair. But I am using this GM kit in this case, so it's cheaper for me to install the kit now, since I've already replaced the hose and pump. But it is going to require removal of the pump to access the back and replace the valve. You know, and this kit basically is a retrofit unit that is very self-explanatory. Contains a new valve and a U-shaped hose that adapts this new non-variable assist valve to the original hose that would come on these systems. And it basically just involves removing the pump, disconnecting the hose, accessing the back, removing the valve, installing the new valve, and installing this adapter pipe, and then just reattaching the hose, and then we bleed out the system. I only use GM power steering fluid in these as well. You know, it's critical that you flush the system. But again, OE pump. I used the original equipment pump on this, and you can try your luck with the reman, but I don't think it's worth saving a couple bucks. You have to do it again. But you know, whatever. It just involves removing this, you know, air intake duct, the upper portion of the fan shroud, the fan, the belt, disconnecting the hose and whatnot, and we'll do that real quick here. I'm set up to make it happen. Just disconnect the air duct and pop that off. A little bracket at the radiator hose. Remove the clamps at the mass airflow in the throttle body. Sorry about all the noise. This video may require ear protection. Try to leave that hose connected. It's probably going to fight me the whole time though. Maybe I'll just bungee cord it. Out of the way somehow. Okay, remove this fan shroud. Pop that fan off. Now we'll remove the belt. That'll give us access to our pump. Now we'll remove the pulley. Use my pulley removal tool. Now I need to be sure and disconnect the battery terminal. Just unhook the negative terminal in so I don't short things when I'm working on the alternator. Got to disconnect the alternator and a couple brackets and wires so we can pull the entire assembly off the car, the mount, the pump, the alternator. We'll remove it as a modular assembly. Positive feed at the alternator. Set that aside. We'll also disconnect the alternator L terminal connector back here. Or I should say we'll try to. There we go. Now there's one supporting bracket at the back of the power steering pump to the engine block. A little 15 millimeter that we're going to remove here. Also going to remove the return hose at this time. Pull the return hose off the pump. You might want to position a drain pan under it. All right, now I'm going to remove this bracket here, supporting this positive feed of the alternator. Just like that, kind of set it aside. Now we're ready to pull this entire bracket. Just about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 15 millimeter head bolts. Go. Now remember, we still got the power steering pressure hose connected. Just pull in this place so I can access it. Move it. Okay, I'm just going to remove the pressure hose off of the gear right now. Just make it a little easier to access. That way we can just pull this whole assembly and take it over to the bench. This is a little 18 millimeter here. Alright, now we just remove the whole assembly from the vehicle. Oh, there's one small bracket that's interfering here that I have to move off the base of the power steering pump. Forgot about that. Okay, I've got the whole bracket and alternator and power steering pump supported here in the vise on the bench. It makes it a lot easier to work on. First thing you want to do is note the location of your power steering pressure line. You're going to use the OE line and this adapter kit. It needs to be installed so that the little aftermarket or not aftermarket, but retrofit U-shaped hose is going to put your hose in basically the same position here within reason. Maybe actually a little bit more towards the 8 o'clock position or whatnot. But in order to access all this, first thing we're going to do is remove the pressure hose off of that fitting there. And this is the actual variable assist control solenoid here, the actuator, and the valve is underneath that. But we removed this whole part off of the car. Just disconnect the hose and remove the actuator solenoid. A little electromagnetic solenoid jobber here. That's how that comes off. That's the actual solenoid, little 2-wire. And when we reinstall this system with the retrofit modification, you just leave the 2 wires disconnected. It will not set a check engine light. So we just leave the connector in dangling off there. You can secure it off to the side and remove it. Now we just remove this whole deal here. Like so. So these are all the parts that we're just going to replace or remove and throw away and install our replacement modified valving, which is just a standard valve. Sure your surfaces are clean, your O-ring is intact. Just install that into the housing. Slightly different size replacement. properly. Click. Now we get our U-shaped hose. Make sure your O-ring's on here and lube properly. And install that. Just wanted it about that position. I would say the 8 o'clock, 7:30, zero dark 7:30. Tighten the pressure hose. Make sure you got good O-rings on there. O-ring looked okay on the hose. I'm going to go with it. Just double check it for leaks. I don't have another O-ring. Okay, I had to break away and get some new O-rings, because I figured you, the viewer, were not going to allow that. I was probably going to get some hate mail on that one. And that O-ring was kind of screwed up. So we'll do it the right way. First time, or actually in this case the second time. And hopefully it'll be the last time. You can always hope. Still doesn't feel like a good fit. Getting somewhere. I feel good about that. There we go. Made in China. Oh my goodness. So, replace this O-ring. Let's go put this puppy back on. Reconnect my alternator L terminal. Install the small bracket bolt on the side of the engine block. And you don't want to forget your little bracket that protects the wiring and hoses down here. Now we just need to hook up our power steering pressure hose to the steering gear. Now I'm going to reconnect my power steering return hose. Position the clamp. Go ahead and reconnect the positive battery cable supporting bracket and the alternator positive lead. Careful with this positive alternator lead. Uh-oh. Dropped the 10mm. Code red. Oh, there it is. Uh-oh. Whew. Found it. Uh-oh. Dropped it again. Oh, no. Oh, it's all the way down. Secure the alternator positive lead. we go. Okay, time to install the power steering pulley. Use my installer tool and thread it in to the pump shaft. Now we drive it home. There we go. Lower half of my clamshell on, and we can install our belt. Boy, we're getting close. Such a good feeling when you finish a free job. So satisfying. Doing it again for the first time. Oh my goodness. All right, I'm going to go ahead and install our fan. Tighten it down with our pneumatic tool. Just a tad. Wow. Let's put our upper shroud on. All right, attaching bolts, attaching clippies. Guys dropped a clippy somewhere. Ugh. Okay, now we're going to install our negative battery cable. And I suppose at this point, it's time to fill our power steering fluid. Okay, like I said before, I only like to use the GM power steering fluid in this application. Make sure you use fluid that's compatible. make sure you prime the pump by spilling power steering fluid all over the outside of it. Just kidding. All right, I'm just going to start it up and get the bubbles out of it. See how it works. Alright, well, great success. Power steering's working flawlessly now. So that's one thing. But then the check engine light is illuminated since our last visit. And the 4x's gone completely dead, so we have no 4x operation. Found that the ATC fuse was blown below the dash. There wasn't any communication with the transfer case module, but now even with the replaced fuse, I'm not able to actuate the T-case motor. It's got a CO308. Might have a bad module here. No illumination of the 4x lights, but if it isn't one thing, it's another. Certainly no lack of business around here at Donor Auto. And yeah, I hope this video is helpful. Appreciate you watching the channel. Catch you next time. Take care.